All right, what's good, guys? This is System Test 99 Simplex Electro-mechanical horn strobes. Let's go ahead and get started.
Welcome to Black Lightning 4547. I'm your host, Devin. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content for your eyes. Make sure you impale the notification bell. Thank you for viewing the channel, and I hope all is well.
All right, so since there's a lot of explaining to do in this video, we're actually just gonna, first of all, start with a walk test since it's almost been a year since I did the expansions and did a walk test then. So we're gonna do another walk test, and plus it's Simplex, we gotta do a walk test of the system, of the setup. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just enter walk test mode right now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to our login. We're gonna go to level 3. Oops, login. Level 3. Boom. We in level 3. And then go to walk test. And then we're gonna go to on. Oh, ooh. Almost forgot to change the silent to signal. We definitely need the horns on. Alright, so that is that. We're in walk test right now. But before we start activating things, I have to put my module in continuous because the panel will notice that the circuits are open and then it's going to start tripping out. So let me put them in continuous for a second. Alright, the module is now continuous now, which is all the diff switches down. And speaking about my module, it's actually had a revision done recently. So now I added a second microcontroller. So as you can see, it actually has 2 microcontrollers. Beforehand, it just had one, and that kind of limit the ability to do different coding options simultaneously. So now with that extra coding, or with that extra microcontroller at the top, we can now do 2 different coding options simultaneously. And as you can see, the disk switches got moved to the bottom, and there's actually more of them. So each microcontroller has pretty much 5 disk switches for the coding options instead of 4. So now I have the opportunity to have 32 coding options. But as of right now, I still have the same 15 coding options and sync protocols that I did before. And then also right here, we have a slave feature. So when you flip that dip switch up, it will make this microcontroller into a slave, which means this microcontroller will follow the bottom microcontroller. So what that means is both circuits will do will sync up with each other, even with sync protocols too. Both will do the same thing that this microcontroller is set to. So yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. So yeah, so let's go ahead and start with the test. So obviously on the ceiling, we have nothing for notification appliances. Let's go ahead and magnet test the true alarm. Address number 1. And then, as you just heard, we have a Simplex 4901 9805 electromechanical horn only. And it looks different because that's actually a 3D printed cover, and I'll explain later. And then in my closet, we have a Simplex 4904 9137 50 Candela remote strobe free run. And then all of our pole stations are the 29.9s 9790 or 29.9s 9756s. Dual action conventional pull stations. All right, so let's go ahead and activate that. Address number 4. Same carbon monoxide detector. Another 29.9 9756. Same Absco horn strobes, but I changed the tone to electromechanical horn instead of the 3000 hertz tones you guys have been hearing. Let's go ahead and test the carbon monoxide detector. So address number 7. And like I said before, carbon monoxide and the fire alarms only go off with each other during walk test. When it's not in walk test, obviously the carbon monoxide detectors will only trigger the horn strobes, the EMSCO horn strobes. They won't trigger the fire alarms. It's time to test this true alarm detector. So that's address number 2. Right here we have a Simplex 4901-9805 with a Simplex 4904-9137H. I don't know the difference between the H and the non-H. They're both 50 candela strobes. And then they're on my DRP, DA-SVP, double gang audible, single gang visual plate, which is also 3D printed. All right, same 2999756. Address number 6. Same combo as the hallway, and then we got the same true alarm detector. Address number 3. And let's go downstairs. All right, we got the quick connect down here, and then right there, here in this spot, we have a 4903-9215 electromechanical horn strobe 30 candela free run. Address number 17, same EMSCO horn strobe. We have a 9219, which is actually formerly a 9236, but now has a 9805 mechanism in it. So 4903, 9219, 15 candela electromechanical horn strobe. We have the same connect, quick connect detector. Address number 18. And then obviously we got the annunciator still the same pull station 299-9756. Address number 16. And then we got the carbon monoxide detector still the same. Yeah. So 15. And then same true alarm heat detector. I'm gonna magnet test it this time around since I don't have my hair dryer down here yet. All right, so that was address 14, as you guys can see. And then in here, we still have the same quick connect smoke detector. All right, address 13 in the garage. Same 299-9756. Same setup. Then we have a Simplex 493 9215 30 candela electromechanical horn strobe. And then the heat detectors still remain. Like I said, I can't put up the Simplex detectors because of the IMs. Only accept normally open contact devices. And unfortunately, those Simplex heat detectors are electronic, so those won't work on IM modules, but they will work on ZAMs, which is zone addressable modules. But I don't have those, obviously. I only have IMs, so I can only use older heat detectors for the garage. So, but yeah, test the carbon monoxide. Address number 9, and let's go get the hair dryer. So same system sensor 5602. All right, so address number 10. Then right here we have the Kentronics, either a 612 or 622. It's one of those models. It's a fixed temp and rate of rise. I think the fixed temp is 200 degrees. And yeah, that's that. And then the last thing we just have to test are the smoke alarms, the relay. So what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and actually test all the smoke alarms. So we're gonna start upstairs in my room, so cause I gotta grab the stick. All right, so we're in the room, got the fish rod, the glow rod, and all the smoke alarms will show up as address 12. All right, so there's that. Got to give it a couple of seconds for that IM to reset, and then we'll go again. All right. Now it should only double pulse from this point forward. Yep. All right, the one in the gym. All right, other side of the loft area. One in my mom's room. That works. Then lastly, the one downstairs. Yep. And that's a combo unit, so it's carbon monoxide and fire. And then the one that's by my bathroom is also a combo unit as well. All right, so that's the walk test. So we're gonna see if we're went back to level 1, so we have to go back to level 3. Walk test, turn it off, and then reset. So system reset in progress. All right, system is reset. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with the craziest coding option. Let's just go ahead and do continuous for the horns. But for the strobe knock, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it on to 60 beats per minute. So we'll get our little bit slower than 1 hertz strobe sync. It's about like 1.025, something like that. So yeah, like I said, these strobes are not SmartSync, okay? But you can manipulate them to be SmartSync. So like I said, a normal sync protocol is not ideal because it has a longer duration of being on than off. For example, like 990 milliseconds on and then 25 milliseconds off, right? So because of that, of the built-in flasher and the flash rates being 1 hertz, which is once per second, what will happen is these will flash and then the SmartSync protocol will fire, or not just SmartSync, but any protocol will fire, and then the strobes will react to that because they still react in cuts and current. And so what will happen is you'll get a double flash, which is not ideal. So to have just like a normal, if you want them to sync, you want like a fixated with both the on and off being the same duration. So like I said, 60 seconds beat per minute, or 60 beat per minute march time is half on, half a second on, half a second off. And so that's more ideal. So yeah, so like I said, all the strobes should sync with each other. But yeah, it's gonna be continuous. So, and I'm not gonna run these long because these are quite loud. Actually, let's go ahead and start the one in the gym. And we might do a house walk around and just see how loud it is, but it's gonna be pretty dang loud. Whoo! Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. That is. We're definitely not keeping that thing on continuous. I can reassure you that. Oh my goodness. That, like I said, reminds me of elementary school so much. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and change the coding option. We gotta do march time, 120 beat with mechanical horns. That's just a must. And then since, like I said, I ran it for so long on continuous, I don't want to run these for too long. So we're just gonna go ahead, 120 beat march time. That's off, on. Come on, my hands are shaking, bro. Yeah, on or off, on, off. So yeah, so we should be on continuous now, or 120 beat march time. And then yeah, we're just gonna activate another pull station. Since I'm up here in my bedroom, let's just go ahead and activate this pull station. goofy ass horn. Man, mechanical horns always sound good on March time, man. And then we're quickly gonna do carbon monoxide detector test. Wow, this is loud. Wow. Wow, that is loud, bro. Wow, gosh. Packs a punch. All right. There we go. Oh man, like I said, we have the supervisory acknowledge. So when you acknowledge the supervisory, it silences the devices and the custom controls. That's how it's done. But yeah, we got our CL detector. Then we got our 2 fire alarms. It's time to reset this thing, man, and call it a day. So, all right, we're on normal, and that will conclude this system test. But before I head off, I want to just do some last minute explaining and tell you guys why it's been so long. You know, since I dropped a video, especially with the 4010, and why it's been like a couple months since I posted, you know, the last system test or the last video. And that's because I went back to college for winter and spring quarter to run track and field, just because I had eligibility still from the 2020 and 2021 academic school year. Because of COVID, we didn't have a full season, so all the athletes were granted a full season because of that. And so I utilized that instead of letting it go to waste. You know, in 2023, I was an unattached student, so I ran unattached, and then from there, I coached. I was doing assistant coaching from there, and then, like I said, just this year for winter and spring, I became a return student and went back. And so, like I said, I already have my degree from 2022 and graduated then. So, but yeah, I solely just went back to run track, and so we ended off on a good note. And so, but yeah, so that's that. I was focused on training and all that stuff. And then another thing is, as you can probably see right next to me, right here, that's my homemade voice evac panel. And this setup was actually going to be voice evac with different devices that you see now. But I had to improvise because, you know, this panel, which you saw in the 2025 New Year's sound off, it was working flawlessly and all that stuff. But as soon as I put it on the panel, or yeah, the 4010, it was giving it a negative ground fault. And so, and then I realized I made an engineering flaw. I didn't isolate the 2 power sources, which is the backup batteries and the main power supply. So I didn't isolate those 2. And so pretty much when you have both the sources going at once, it was backfeeding into the NACs. And so it was ground faulting the panel. And so I pretty much took it down. And to revamp it, you know, and I got all the parts to get together. It was like, gotta cost me like 70 something, and then after tax and shipping and all that, it's gonna be like over 80. So I pretty much abandoned that project. And so to improvise, I bought these 4903s, right? Or sorry, 4901s. And as you can see, like I said, as I mentioned earlier, these have 3D printed covers, which I made myself. I drew these up in AutoCAD first, and then sent it to Bamboo Studio. And then I actually have my own 3D printer now, which I can show you. So pretty much, here's the 3D printer. It's a Bamboo Lab A1 with a 256 by 256 by 256 millimeter build plate. So that's the volume of the builds you can have. This is a multicolor printer up to 4 colors. So that's the AMS light. Aka the automatic material system, they call it. And so yeah, I got this, and before I got this, I was going back and forth with one of my teammates slash classmates at the time, and since he was already at the college in the trades building, where he was taking his classes, so that's where all the 3D printers were at. I just had him print some stuff for me, but since there were some days where he couldn't get into the rooms, or for whatever reason, that also caused a delay in the process. So, but yeah, so. Oh yeah, I didn't really even tell you the whole reason why I had to 3D print. Pretty much the reason why I had to 3D print these covers was because when I received the package, the covers were broken to bits and pieces. They were obliterated. They were not pretty much, you couldn't salvage. They were not salvageable pretty much. So and I'll show you pictures here. I already recorded an unboxing video and stuff. Like I said, I bought these devices actually a couple months ago at this point. So you guys want to see the unboxing video and my reaction to the broken devices, let me know in the comments. If I get like 10 comments, then I'll probably drop a video or of that reaction to those devices. But yeah, so pretty much those 4901s are new devices to my collection. But like I said, since they pretty much came shredded to bits and pieces, and by the way, the seller felt bad. He sent me a refund immediately, so that's all good. Nothing, no hard feelings towards the seller and stuff. He just didn't know that 90s Simplex plastic is, so brittle. So that's the thing with these 4901s, 4903s, and the 4904s, and even 4902s. I think they call the speakers, the remote speakers. They're, just 90s, typical Simplex 90s plastic. They're brittle. So if you don't wrap them accordingly, if you don't take care with packaging them, they're gonna come damaged. So that's just what happened. And like I said, no hard feelings. And he did me right by refunding me and stuff. And like I said, all the mechanisms work still, as you guys saw. Those are the original 9805 mechanisms in there. But yeah, I just had to pretty much make my own covers. So instead of just throwing the whole devices away, because I'm like, this pretty much made, another opportunity. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much why between the 3D printing, college and track and field, and then setups were not going my way. That was the reason why this videos for the 4010 was delayed. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this the walk test and the full alarm. Like I said, hopefully next setup won't take as long, but yeah, I can't promise you guys anything. So like I said, I'm still around. Feel free to comment, obviously. If you guys have any questions, let me know. By the way, I noticed if you guys are interested in those 4901 covers, if you want me to make you some, I'm thinking about it. Just hold off for right now. But if you need a cover replacement, then like I said, I'll consider it. But as of right now, I'm not really planning to sell to the public right now. So, but anyways, guys, that was System Test 99. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's been your boy Black Lightning 4547. Take care and have a good one. I'm out.